And the Avondale Guineas features Volkstock and Barrel. He's been the star 3-year-old in the lead-up, winner of 5 from 6 at 2.80. He hits the market over Mongolian Khan, who's just the same, only been beaten in one race at 4.60 and was pretty impressive. First time in 7 weeks, stepping up to 2,000 metres in a Group 2 win in the Waikato Guineas. Rock fast at 10s. McQueen at 7.50, and at 10s about Sound Proposition, who's been pretty good as well. A few over the page, but they're all long, so let's get you on track to our man at Te Aroha, Brendan Popwell. And BP, it's been a clash that we've been eagerly anticipating, isn't it? Volkstock and Barrel, Mongolian Khan. There are others as well, but the clash between that pair, really intriguing.
It certainly is, isn't it, Aidan? And it's one that it's been eyed up for quite some time, isn't it? The Avondale Guineas, a race that is always that key lead-up 2 weeks out from the TV3 New Zealand Derby. It's been a very good guide in recent years since the movement of the Avondale Guineas to this time slot as well. So Volkstock and Barrel, I mean, he's had everything in front of him that to suggest that he's going to eat the distance up, and you know, it's really hard to tip against him, isn't it, Aidan? I mean, the couple of factors I think for him tomorrow, when chatting to Matthew Cameron, was, you know, it is a bigger field tomorrow. He's drawn a little awkwardly in barrier number 11, so that might mean he could get a wee way off them, and that might sort of dictate what happens in front of him. But he's also been a horse where he's been able to adapt to different conditions, hasn't he, in those smaller fields where they've looked to be able to use him and go forward, and that's been able to add an extra string to his bow, isn't it? And I think he'll be better chasing them as well, and I think that's one thing we've heard from Donna Logan, haven't we, Aidan, leading up to this, that he's probably a horse that is better chasing them down anyway instead of leading up. So that's one aspect I'm looking forward to tomorrow, is the fact that he might sit off them, and he might be able to produce a barnstorming run. And I think punters are thinking that as well in terms of what will happen tomorrow, and he might even tighten up again after his win in the Avondale Guineas for the TV3 New Zealand Derby.
Yeah, I've mapped him in the trail, BP. I think he'll be handy. I think Mongolian Khan will be handy as well. And it should make for a fascinating clash between the pair of them. Volkstock and Barrel steps up to 2,000 metres for the first time, where Mongolian Khan's had a couple of runs at the distance and won them both. I'm going to go back and have a look at Volkstock and Barrel. There he is in the red colours, Rosemont stud colours. On the outside, Rockfast really served it up to him this day in the Kanaka 3-year-old mile. Just at that point, you knew that Volkstock and Barrel was in for the fight, and Rockfast was a little bit wayward, but he certainly knuckled down and came again in the straight. And I know he's been beaten a couple of lengths, BP, but Rockfast's closing stages of that race, the finish wasn't too bad, and I don't think he's a forlorn chance in this race as well. Let's go and have a look at the Waikato Guineas as well. There's Prima, who settled second. It was a race that was really dominated by speed runners. You've got Prima outside, well, just in the trail now. Mongolian Khan in third. Margin Trader there just peels off the fence. And McQueen, who was put in the race after stumbling at the start, was massive. A few in behind them, such as Gaultier, who comes around in this one as well. But we see a very good performance again, Brendan, from Mongolian Khan. He did... Okay, beat a couple of outsiders in this race, but 2,000 metres in the first run in 7 weeks, there was a lot of merit to this performance.
Mongolian Khan wins the Waikato Guineas, second Giant Turtle, third Prima, then photos for fourth.
Brendan was just saying there's a lot of merit to that performance over 2,000 metres after a 7-week break.
Oh, absolutely, Aidan, and a horse who's got the form around Ellerslie as well, winning the Jester's Pies Salva, which of course was a race that Midnight Magic Man was a very short prize favourite, and he's a competitor in this race on the weekend as well. So look, where he's drawn, he's got a lot of things in his favour where he can just position up and take the right sort of sit. So he's a top player in the race, and he's my second pick in the race quite clearly as well, because I think you need to respect that Waikato Guineas form. I think you need to respect as well what McQueen did in the race. Look, that was a huge effort from the horse to be knuckling at the start, nearly losing jockey Sam Collett, and then to be able to still finish into that 5th position. And how do you line out Gaultier in that race? Because of course it was a race that didn't really play into the hands of horses from the back of the field, with it being so up front dominated with first, second and third in that race. Do you give Gaultier now the chance, the Group 1 winner from 2 start, to go to the races? Some would say maybe so. And I think the other horse you're going to need somewhere in the mix is Sound Proposition, Aidan. Sound Proposition is just mapping like a horse who's ready to be tackling a derby in more distance off the back of that Karaka Million Night win, which was quite encouraging for mine.
Yeah, exactly. It can't have been an easy choice for Michael Coleman. I spoke to him yesterday about it as well. Sound proposition of Gaultier. He just stayed with Gaultier because he'd won a Group 1 race on at the Living Classic a couple of starts back. BP, you spoke about your selections. Here's mine on screen. I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going with Mongolian Khan to beat Volkstock and Barrel. I've got Rockfast, Margin Trader and McQueen. Not much between those other three. What about for you, BP? Who's on top?
I'll flip those top two around, and I will also go with McQueen and Sound Proposition. I think in terms of trying to work out trifectas and multiples in top four selections, I think that third and fourth spot, you could be number of different ways, couldn't you, Aidan? It depends on what happens up front as well. I think there's a stack of horses, and that will be the same when it comes to the Derby as well, that can run into the money at fairly decent odds like we've seen over the years as well. So I think if you're looking to try and play those trifectas, play a few wide ones as well and hope that maybe you can get the right sort of result, because Margin Trader, I don't want to drop just yet. A horse who was okay in the Waikato Guineas but was really making good ground at Ellerslie 2 starts ago to the races as well. So yeah, he's a horse I expect at long odds and into the Derby, and like to see a good run from him running on at the end in the Avondale Guineas tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. We just run out of time to talk about the Avondale Cup. We might do that later on, Brendan, but if we can just throw a couple of the outsiders at you and just get a quick thought around them. Horses like Stratocaster, Prince Mambo, Nymph Monte, even Midnight Magic Man, who was pretty good last time out as well. Is there something that can sort of pop up at odds?
Yeah, look, why can't Stratocaster and Midnight Magic Man be the two that are the ones that could be your sort of upsetters in the race? Stratocaster made good ground late in that race behind Volkstock and Barrel, and has always looked like a horse who's going to be better when stepping up over more ground. And Midnight Magic Man, he looks like a dead set stayer, doesn't he? The way that he's able to win that race on New Year's Day up against older horses. Chenille's come out of that race. Of course, he ran second and won very convincingly at Tauranga, and is right in the market for the New Zealand Oaks. So I wouldn't be surprised if George and Marianne get a great run for their money tomorrow in the Avondale Guineas leading into the Derby with Midnight Magic Man.
Yeah, looking forward to being on track with you at Ellerslie tomorrow, Brendan. And of course, the SLA New Zealand Avondale Guineas jumps at 3:37, 23 minutes to 4 tomorrow afternoon. Catch the coverage live here on TRB Trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, the racing action is about to commence. There are now only 4 minutes until the tote closes. Please make your investments immediately.
Side 1, if you are looking for Moonee Valley, there is severe thunderstorms and lightning activity in the area, so we haven't heard anything more as to when they will go. They are in an indefinite delay. We'll keep you posted on what's happening in Melbourne. But we're 4.5 minutes out from the feature event tonight, Craig Thompson, so we can go runner by runner shortly through this feature race to kick off the quaddie.
Nice field, Mark. Only 6 runners, but they've won some 56 races between them, headed up by the Derby winner, Ahoka Punter. Gee, they've backed him in, Mark. He was around $2 this morning into $1.50. The big mover the other way is Sky Major. He's drifted out to $4. His trainer, Barry Pern, talked to me earlier in the night. Barry, Sky Major, I really want to talk about him. Race didn't pan out from last week. They just walked off the front and sprinted home. He made good ground, though, and his trial form leading into that run with the likes of Adore Me and a few of them has been really good.
Yeah, we've been pleased with him. As you say, it just didn't probably suit him last time. Although the last 50 he was quite strong, he got home good. But, look, he's trained on well. Look, there's only a couple on the trial on Saturday, so he's done a bit of work, though. Whatever he does tonight, he'll be a bit better for. But having said that, he's nearly spot on. He goes into the race next week at Menangle, so he'll need to go pretty good tonight. And we've given him a couple of stands at home, and he's begun pretty quickly because he's never had one before. So he's pretty sensible. I just hope he steps off good.
That's what I was going to ask you about, the standing start. First start tonight. He looks just one of those sensible types, though. You're pretty confident he'll do it right? Yeah,
well, he just began quickly at home. They usually do, though, at home. That's the problem. But, look, I'd be surprised if he did make a mistake. You can never be sure, but I'm pretty confident we should be all right there.
Through tonight, off to Australia?
Yes, he leaves on Wednesday.
Barry Purdens with the thoughts about Sky Major on a play Wednesday, heading towards New South Wales to race next Saturday. $12,500 in the quaddie pool. Get involved. First leg here, I think you need two runners. The back two here. A Hoka Punter and a bit of cover with Sky Major. If he posied up in front of a Hoka Punter, will make a very interesting race, Sky Major. I watched him trial about 3 weeks ago with Adore Me, prior to Adore Me heading to Australia, and trial well, Sky Major. Last week's race, well, you just put a line through it. It was a sit and sprint affair. A Hoka Punter got to the front. There was no pressure, and they ran a very quick last half. So, for me, the back two. But this horse on screen at the moment, Huey Green, holds the key to this race. With a clean beginning, he would make it very interesting for the back two. Standing start, never been from a start. Standing start in the past, and we know his issues on Cup Day at Addington where did a few things wrong. So he's got a few tricks, Huey Green. He trialled here on Saturday, and to be fair, I was a little bit disappointed. Now, maybe it was a case he needed that run, and he's had a blowout, and he'll improve with it. But he's taking on a couple of seasoned horses. When I say seasoned, horses have been around a lot longer than him. And Art Major, who's had 33 starts, and Hoka Punter having his 22nd tonight. So here's the new kid on the block. Has he got the ability to win? Absolutely. If he made a clean beginning, he's got high speed, Huey Green, one of the fastest we've seen around Alexandra Park over the last 800 metres. Can tell you, through from the bookmaker's desk, 3,500 on Sky Major, best backed. No Doctor Needed, great winning last week. Will need to step up again. Beat first home last week. He was okay from a stand. He's the only one off 10 metres, so that'll help him get underway. 2 No Doctor Needed, racing well in the north. Certainly got to have him in the mix. 3 CMAC, I reckon the best at roughie in the race. He's the second outsider in the field. His manners are great. He chased home a Hoka Punter 2 starts ago, and then good last start. I reckon he's right in it, CMAC here. He's the best value if you're looking for one in your top 3 at longer odds. Voluntar, done nothing wrong. Winner at Cambridge last start, and saying that, she missed away. Couldn't afford to do that tonight and give these near open class horses a head start. So Voluntard, clean beginning, the key with her. Sky Major we've talked about. Son of Art Major heading to Australia. Just had the one run back after a long layoff. I reckon he's come back better at 4 than what he was at 3. And he's stripped a little bit fitter tonight. So definitely the horse to beat outside the favourite, runner number 5, Sky Major. A Hoka Punter. He's had 3 runs back. He won at Cambridge first up. 4th in the Franklin Cup behind Lancewood Lizzie, and defeated No Doctor Needed last start. He's the winner of over $500,000. Super horse, a Hoka Punter. Definitely the one to beat and deserve to be favourite in race number 7 tonight. 6 on top to beat 5, 3 and 1 for me. Can tell you the Cup nominations are through for the Auckland Cup. Adore Me, Beyond the Silence, bit of a lead.
The Pacers face up to starter Frank Phelan. The barrier strands released. They're off. Now Huey Green, a wee bit tardy off the front, but he is pacing all the same. No Doctor Needed. CMAC come forward. Voluntat is safely on the journey, as to a Hoka Punter. And the only horse to blow the start was Sky Major. And he's out of contention from the word go. So sweeping across the showgrounds turn their first occasion. And CMAC and Scott Phelan whistle around to take up the early running. Huey Green is 3 lengths lengths away. Out he'll get through to trail. No Dr. Needed's left parked. Is galloping now on the inside. Voluntad coming off the showgrounds turn into the lane. Ahoka Punter gets around her. So she's losing her chance as well. And Sky Major's well out of contention after his early mistake. So through the lane they come the first occasion. Aotearoa Fisheries handicap pace, and they've got 2 circuits left to go. Siamac, the son of Mark III. Scott Phelan works onto the stables corner. Leading by 3.5, Huey Green, the exciting 3-year-old by Art Majors in the trail. No Doctor Needed now 3 back on the inside for John Dunn, another son of Mark III. And Ahoka Punter, the stallion by Better's Delight. He bides his time. The last of the winning chances, a long margin away, Sky Major. Voluntad's yet to switch back into a pace. So down the back they go. And Siamac leads by still that 3.5, Huey Green. Similar margin, No Doctor Needed as they run down to the lead time. That clicks off in 1:25.5, so they are making it a stern test for the back marker, Ahoka Punter. And a long margin away to a Sky Major, who blew it with an early gallop. And Voluntad is about to be retired from the race. They sweep across the showgrounds turn again here in Siamac, still away that 3.5. Over the 3-year-old and Huey Green, the Magic Man Morris McHenry in the trail. No Doctor Needed, last week's winner, John Dunn. He sits third. And Ahoka Punter, the Founders Cup winner. He's back last of the 4 winning chances through the lane. 30-6 was the opening quarter. Aotearoa Fisheries handicap pace. Down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. And Siamac will take them into the final circuit. Scotty Phelan from in second. Huey Green, No Doctor Needed. And still the Iceman, Tony Hurley, driving Ahoka Punter with plenty of confidence at the tail end of this 4-horse group. And further away in the field then to a Sky Major, and Voluntad has been pulled up on the journey, second quarter 30.8. Siamac making it a genuinely run affair, leads away by 2. Huey Green's had that perfect run in the trail throughout. There followed No Doctor Needed, and still Ahoka Punter travels beautifully at the rear, and he's about to get a lovely drag into the race too on the back of No Doctor Needed. 500 to go. Siamac off the back, only a neck. No Doctor Needed the outside. Huey Green waiting the passing lane. Ahoka Punter only 2 lengths off Siamac with a quarter down the back and 29. Siamac for home. Over No Doctor Needed. Here's Ahoka Punter. He comes forward now out 3 wide, and Huey Green waiting the passing lane. Homeward bound Siamac. Ahoka Punter lengthens hard on the outside of No Doctor Needed. Huey Green on the passing lane. Ahoka Punter. Huey Green opens up strongly the passing lane. Ahoka Punter. Huey Green comes hard. He drives hard the inside. The 3-year-old's in. Welcome back, Huey Green. There's the real Huey Green. He knocks off Ahoka Punter. They were followed then by No Doctor Needed, Siamac. Sky Major back after his early mistake. Voluntad was pulled up 3:23.7. 27.6. Put that down to the genuinely run clip out in front by Siamac. It's taken just enough sprint out of Ahoka Punter for the front taped. Huey Green to secure the trail, the passing lane, and he'll come through for the victory. Great to see him back in winning form too, Huey Green. Well, what will that do to the Derby markets coming up? Ahoka Punter, a former Derby winner. He'll run second, No Doctor Needed for third. And Siamac will make up the first 4 in the Aotearoa Fisheries handicap pace. Welcome back, big fella, Huey Green.
Official placings, race 7, the Aotearoa Fisheries handicap pace, 16235. 16235. Horse 1, Huey Green, paced the 2,700 metres from a stand in 3:23.70. That's 1/10 outside the New Zealand record. Mile rate of 2:1.4. Last 856.7, the 427.6. The margins ahead, 3 3/4 lengths, 2 and 3 The margins ahead, 3 3/4 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths. 16235, race 7, the Aotearoa Fisheries Handicap Pace.
Judge Graham McLennan with the call for our feature pace tonight, and it goes the way of Huey Green, wins 7 at start, 11 tonight for the Art Major. 3-year-old Bay Gelding out of Altus Arena, raced by breeders Moira Green, John and Trish Green. Bunty Hughes picks up his second winner on the program tonight, getting home with the Orange Agent back in race 3, as too to the Magic Man. Morris McKendry back into the victory circle, the New Zealand Trotting Hall of Fame sponsored Rangeman. And Huey Green greeted by Etta Puia, and race night Stuart Gordon Robertson down there part of the victory celebrations in the winner's circle. 6 Ahoka Punter, gutsy in defeat, the Better's Delight, 5-year-old Bay Entire out of Millwood, Minnesota. Mrs. Kay Carville, A.G. Hurley and S.W. Waters the owners. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver out of Papakura. 2 No Doctor Needed third. Mark 3 Bay, 4-year-old Gelding out of Molly Darling. For S.R. Plant, A.S. Gain, G. Plant, Miss N. Plant and S.J. Stockman. Robert Dunn, the trainer, Pukekohe John Dunn. 1 Huey Green returns $7.50 and $2.50, $7.50, $2.50. 6 Ahoka Punter at $1.40, $1.40. 2 No Doctor Needed, no third dividend. Quinella $6.80, $6.80. Trifecta $79.30, $79.30. And the first 4, $229.20, $229.20. We'll have an update for you on Pick 6 just as soon as that comes available. 704.04. There it is, 704.04. Live units remaining in Pick 6 going to the second half. With 2, 2 and 1, the numbers now required on your Pick 6 tickets. Equibreed handicap trot, 2,200 metres to open the final treble on the program tonight. We scratch number 8, Terraskova. Race 8 is time to go at 24 after 9.
Company gets into a straight class 4, gets a nice box draw to go with it, and all 11 career wins have been here at Hat-Trick, so all the boxes get ticked here for Homebush Crash. Gets his chance to pick up another win, and good value too there at $6.50, $6.90 and $1.70. Has gone some very good races, has got that great time of 17.36, and a good chance here to Homebush Crash to bounce back. I have gone for that over the 3 Alpaca. She's done a good job getting through to Class 5. She had 2 or 3 very good runs in Class 5 company, but got downgraded back into Class 4. She had her Class 4 run on Monday. Good effort in behind Opulent, as we did see, not too far away. Could have easily gone on to win that race. Didn't really get a lot of racing room in that, and bounces back to a Class 4, straight Class 4 once again here at the end of the week. And on this track, probably just as good here as she is there at the Manawatu Raceway in Alpaca. Off the 3 has to be a big chance, and off the inside, Falia running very well for Gary and Sarah Ross. There she is out there and looking very keen, and she's racing very well. She took that full 5 starts back, but it hasn't really affected her, and she has picked up 3 placings since. Gets into the inside draw. She's won 2 races from box 1, Falia, and will most certainly have to be on your trifecta first 4 ticket. Zipping Tay, I do like the inside 4 dogs here. Zipping Tay won a good race here in Class 4 company at the beginning of the year,
and it didn't show a great deal after that by missing the start back on the 30th of January, but has been freshened up, and it could be an upset here too at Zipping Tay. Big money for the 4, and around that $16 mark, $12 with the book. Weepu also having another crack over the sprint. Not too sure if he's going to be returning to the middle distance. Senorita Tina here for Marcy Flips. Had the one run on the track here last Friday. Will be a lot better for that. And Blue Senior will be looking to make that same beginning with the Bitcoin out wide here for Andy. And just didn't have a lot of racing room when trying to recover there on Monday. All locked away now for the racing tips. Stockco.nz for the Class 4 sprinters. Bunny rolling. Ready. And racing the inside there. Filius came out running along there with Alpaca, now looking to charge around the outside. Now we've got Blue Senior track through there by Senorita Tina. Bitcoin trying to get to the rail there from Homebush Crash. Then we go back to Weepu, and out the back is Zipping Tay. They go for home. Alpaca travelling well though, away by 3 or 4 on Senorita Tina, and getting there all right there was Alpaca from Senorita Tina. Then we go here to Weepu, as it made up plenty of ground, get through to take third. Just off there we had Homebush Crash, not too far away. The one out wide there would have been Bitcoin, also there for Lear, just up ahead of that. And Blue Senior, where did he get to? He was back there in the last 2 or 3 as well. Well, went straight to Class 5 and back down to Class 4, but it was never going to take too long for Alpaca to return to Class 5. The one showed the speed on the inside for Lear, but Alpaca straight to the front. Once she got to the front, it was all over. Good run by Senorita Tina. Marcy picked up the first race, and she gets second here. And Weepu has come through the pack to grab third off Homebush Crash, who stuck to the rail. For Lear, it was the one out wide there ahead of Bitcoin. And the other two there, Zipping Tay and Blue Senior. Just waiting for the time there, 17:47, so not a bad clip here in race number 10, that run home 10:51. And we have got 3/4 by 3 1/4 and a neck, and that run home 10:51. Overall time at 17:47. So number 3 Alpaca for Lisa Ahern and Craig Rendell. Bit of bad luck in that last race here for Lisa, but bounces back here with Alpaca. And it picks up now win number 13, back to Class 5. She goes at sectional time was 6:96. And coming back 3 to beat the 6, 5 and 2. Alpaca by Premier Fantasy out of Trendy Habit takes out the racing tips. Race number 10 for the Class 4 sprinters. And now she will return to the open class. On to race number 11. The Wanganui Security for the Class 4 sprinters once again. And looking forward to this one too. Curious Life I do like. Hasn't missed a check from box 8, and also Big Boy Dino. Also finding this race probably a little bit easier too, a recent downgrader. So Mark, we'll have you back for race number 11, and looking forward to it to 9:35.
And that one here does have Hey You going around out of box number 1 today after winning last week in C3, so up to C4, contesting the likes of another last start winner at the Manawa 2 on Monday, What's Up G. Alpaca 3, 6, 5 and 2, the winner paid $1.90 and $1.40. 6 Senorita Tina, $4.50 and 5 Weepu, $2.10, 3, 6, 5, 2. Quinella 1960, trifecta 148.70. First 4 of 3, 6, 5 and 2 pays $612.10. 3 and 3 double, $7.20. 3 and 6 concession pays you $35.50. 17.47 the winner's time. So we've got 2 to go from Hattrick, race number 11, as Darryl mentioned. 9:35 tonight kicks off the double, a C4 over the 3:05, and then a Class 5 to finish off the card. Wraps up the double at 10:05. Here's Melbourne. Watch for the flash, just like the meteor the other night. If you were in the Auckland area, the flash about to come. Protect your eyes. This is why we have no action at Moonee Valley. There it goes. There goes the crash. The lightning activity out of Moonee Valley, which is keeping the horses from the track. The latest. Just trying to hear some more information through, but nothing confirmed. Unofficially moved to... Okay, here we go. Stewards will meet at 9:45. We've got a 9:50 rescheduled start time, so we're still a good 40 minutes from that. But the stewards will meet at 9:45, and obviously some decisions will be made about Moonee Valley there. So 9:45 a stewards meeting, 9:50 this race has been put back. So still 40 minutes until we could possibly get the meeting underway. But obviously that thunder and lightning is here to stay in Melbourne. It's pretty thick over the area. Of course, it's Orr Stakes Day, the CF4 Stakes, where a man named Peter Moody has a great record in this race. And, well, tomorrow, as we get Group 1 action back to Melbourne with the Orr Stakes, well, certainly we could see some more history being made in that race. Favourites have a really good history in the race, and tomorrow we'll see Dissident going around for Peter Moody. Dissident is second up, of course, resumed in the Australia Stakes on Australia Day weekend on the Saturday at Moonee Valley. So here, of course, was beaten by the old-timer in Mourinho. First up, should strip fitter for that, and Peter Moody, who will like to add another CF4 Stakes to the trophy mantle. He will be looking to add one with Dissident tomorrow. Okay, we'll take a break on TAB Trackside 1 with a wee bit of time up our sleeves. We'll look ahead to one of the teams competing in the Cricket World Cup, which starts officially tomorrow. We'll take a look at Zimbabwe.
Equibreed handicap trot, 2,200 metres, race 8, first leg of the final treble on the program tonight. And pick 6 going into the second half of pick 6, 704.04 live in pick 6. Equibreed for frozen semen, embryo transfer, problem mares, stallion fertility. Think Equibreed, excellence in equine reproduction. Luxury as at $5,000 plus GST. The Pine Chip stallion with the frozen semen available. And Southwind Vernon, another son of Pine Chip, frozen semen available there at $4,000 plus GST. 399 Parklands Road, Te Awamutu. Equibreed.co.nz 07870 1845. For excellence in equine reproduction, think Equibreed.
Zimbabwe's turn, and Scotty, they won't win anything. They might win best flag competition because they've got a very nice flag. But there's a history of cricket in Zimbabwe, but they're not as strong as they used to be.
No, they're not. But again, another side you just can't write off. They've beaten Australia this year. While in the last 6 months they played a tri-series in Zimbabwe with South Africa and Australia and actually tipped over the Australians. So you can't simply turn up expecting to win. You've got to play well. They've got Brendan Taylor, who is a genuine world-class batsman. His record is second to none, who would make most teams around the world, I think. Elton Chikumbura, Matsukineri, Hamilton Matsakaza, all been around now for a long time. They're a good, solid batting side.
Dolly, wickets down here for them.
Yeah, tough work. No genuine pace, no real pace in that side. They'll rely a little bit on the spin and Prosper Utsaya, those sorts of guys. But when you look through that list, there's names you recognise through the list, but I just don't know that I don't see them as strong as Ireland in this tournament, to me, and I just wonder whether they have the capabilities of beating anyone apart from the other minnow side. So a tough tournament for these guys, but it's all about experience.
Still plenty of options to have a look at individually on the Zimbabweans, but maybe not to win the matches.
And of course, Mark Stafford will keep us updated throughout the tournament with his special guests, Simon Dool and Scotty Styrus. I tell you what, if you were taking that Staff special, you'll be worried at the moment with the Rebels in front with 8 minutes to play against the Crusaders. 20 points to 10 if you took that Staff special into the Black Caps tomorrow, who play Sri Lanka in the opening match, of course, Valentine's Day. All right, before we get you back to Alexandra Park, let's get an update as to what's going on at Moonee Valley with Terry Bailey catching up with one of the stipendiary stewards.
1980s theme of music today, set by Dean Pettit earlier on in the day. Well, still not great scenes and not great weather here at Moonee Valley. Let's get all the latest with Terry Bailey and Chief Steward for tonight's meeting, Darren Triantafilou.
Yeah, Darren, nothing has changed much except we've got a bit of rain. Lightning has just eased probably just a little bit, but it's really in the lap of the gods, I'd imagine.
Well, Terry, look, we really do appreciate everyone's time at this moment. Look, we've contacted the Weather Bureau again. At this stage, there's no change. We're going to make a call at roughly around about 7:45, and obviously we're going to have to draw a line in the sand and make a call. But we've got riders at the moment and trainers. We've got horses up at the horse stall area, so we've got to take all those and the patrons on course. We've got to take all that into consideration. And unfortunately, we've still got lightning and thunder around the area, and that's delaying the start of the meeting.
If we get to 7:35, Weather Bureau say thumbs up, right to go, you can push the meeting through and get it done by what end time?
Well, we'll have to start the first then at roughly around 8 o'clock, and our cut-off time then is it has to be, we have to run our last race by 11 o'clock. So, we're going to squeeze, that will be squeezing 8 races in a short period. Can be done, but again, the weather doesn't look great at this stage, and to go
So
forward.
after speaking to the Bureau and the person with the computer looking at the screen and everything like that, what's your gut tell you from what you've seen so far and where we're at the moment? Because we just had lightning just a moment ago then too, Darren.
Look, I think at the moment we're in a bit of trouble to even get the meeting going. The Bureau's saying that it's going to be around for 3 to 4 hours, and have noticed Ballarat have called off their race meeting, a harness race meeting due to lightning, and that's where the weather's coming from the west.
So if we mention this back...
The weather coming from the west, there'll be a stewards meeting at 9:45, so we'll keep you up to date as to what's going on at Moonee Valley. We can go back now, though, to Alexandra Park. Looks like they'll be our next race on trackside 1. Craig Thompson, we've just seen Huey Green winning the previous race there. The 3-year-old, of course, back in action, back in winning form, and it's pretty poignant, obviously, with nominations closing at 11 o'clock this morning for the Auckland Cup features, the Cup and the Woodlands Northern Derby.
Absolutely, Mark. I think the club's got to be very happy with the Derby nominations and the Cup nominations, probably higher than I expected anyway, and a couple of very interesting nominations, especially in the Cup itself. Horses like Smolder, which we haven't seen for an awful long time. He's one of 19 nominations for the Cup, but you chuck in there, of course, Adore Me, Pembroke Benny, Lancewood Lizzie, Hoka Punter, of course, we've just seen Sky Major, Elios. It's a really, really nice field at this stage. Pemberton Shard, Pembroke Benny. A few of these are going to be at the trials here tomorrow, Mark, so plenty to talk about. Shaping up to be a really good field. Chris and Me, I'll read out the 19 very quickly. Adore Me, Beyond the Silence, Bit of a Legend, Border Control, Chris and Me, Sia Mac, Elios, Gold Ace, Jason Rules, Johnny Rock, Lancewood Lizzie, Louis Risker, Hoka Punter, Pemberton Shard, Pembroke Benny, Sky Major, Smolder, Terra to Love and Voluntar. They are 19 in the Auckland Cup. A couple of them, very interesting. 24 going round in the Derby. I'll read out the ones I think we need to talk about. Art Union, Brilliant Strike, Cha-Ching Cha-Ching, Delightful Offer, Democrat Party, the filly, the Derby nominations. Express Stride, very impressive here tonight. Then we get into the Mark Purdon contingent. Follow the Stars, Have Faith in Me, Hug the Wind. Huey Green will go round. It's Better to Win, Kept Under Wraps, My Kiwi Mate, Prince of Pops, Robbie Burns, Same a Name, and a few more, including I'll Win It Tonight in The Faithful. 24 nominations for the Derby, and the club have been over the moon with what they've received this morning up to 11 o'clock, and Yeah, that is really good news heading into our Cup Carnival. A lot of these are going to trial here tomorrow. If you're in the Auckland region, I can tell you horses that are going around here looking to have a couple of runs before the Cup. Pembroke Benny, Elios, Lancewood, Lizzie, Wesley, Silcox, Cha-Ching. They go round in heat number 11 tomorrow. Also going round tomorrow in the earlier heats. Just having a quick look here. A couple of nice trialists going round earlier on. In fact, I've just lost my page. Robbie Burns goes round heat run in heat 4. Of course, he was very impressive here at Alexandra Park last week. So if you're in the Alexandra Park area, Green Lane, get along to the trials here tomorrow. The open class heat featuring Elios. Good to have him back on the track. He trialled here last week. Pembroke Benny, Lancewood, Lizzie and the like. A lot of them heading towards the Auckland Cup in about 3 weeks' time. Race number 8, got to talk about this. Of course, second leg of tonight's quaddie. First leg taken out by Huey Green. Very even race. Analysing it, I thought number 1, Hanover to Cash at around about $8 is the best value in the race. She's a good 2,200 metre mare. Short distance is her go. She steps and she runs, and her manners are usually good, so I thought she was an each-way chance. Likes to follow the speed, 1 run at them. Morris McKendry in good form tonight with the winner in the last. He takes the drive. 1, Hanover to Cash. Best roughie tonight at big money, 12, Djokovic. He's an enigma. He's got all the ability in the world, and the day he trots away is the day he usually wins, but they're few and far between. Been racing okay, though, after making mistakes. If he happened to step with them, got round them, and he found the front for luck, he'd just about run them into the ground here, Djokovic. He's that type of runner. He's good enough to win as a 3-year-old in some very good company. So for me, 1 and 12. 6 Gentares, a maiden winner 2 starts ago. He galloped last start, put the line through that run, go on his previous start, where he was a winner on this track. And 9, Saffron Castleton. Zach Butcher, another one suited to 2,200 metres. Certainly a chance in what is a very even lineup in pick 6 and the quaddie tonight, race number 8. Thought it was open to an upset. I marked them 1 on top to beat 12, 6 and 9 in the 8th. Aaron, what does it come to you? Just looking at those Derby and Cup nominations, I think the Auckland Club would be over the moon. 24 in the Derby and 19 in the Cup.
There too, good strong nominations as well. And I'm pretty sure that 2 horses tonight have put their hand up in a big way for those Derby spoils. Express Stride in the first race, he was very impressive, but take nothing away from the win in the last race of Huey Green. Great to see him back. He was 0.1 outside of the New Zealand record for the 2,700 metres off a standing start for a 3-year-old. And yeah, just great to see him back in winning form. But as you mentioned, yeah, some very, very good strong nominations up for those 2 feature races through the Carnival upcoming here at Alexandra Park. In the 8th on the program tonight, the Equibreed Handicap Trot over the 2,200. 6-11, 2 and 1 for me. Sticking with Gentaris, blew the start last time. He's a son of great success. Al Bundy by great success has also scored tonight. Gentaris was a nice winner over KD Hall. 2 starts ago, that been a couple of weeks back. We'll put in the 11, that been Chardon's Pearl. She's been doing a nice job since being transferred to the Wizard Todd Mitchell's barn. KD Hall continues to trot well. Brent Mangos, Tim Vince, and Hanover to Cash, not the worst in this, running for a performance incentive bonus tonight. Morris McKendry's already picked up a double, of course, with the Orange Agent winning back in race number 3, and Huey Green in the previous. And I, like you, Craig, I did make my long shot tonight. Djokovic, with no foot faults, he could certainly serve it up to them.
Absolutely, Aaron. Through from the racing desk, thanks for Selda passing all the information on. Gee, they're coming for 1 horse and 1 horse only in this race. And that is runner number 1, Hanover to Cash. $2,000 at 7. Then they take another $1,500 at 6 and $2,000 at 5. And another $2,000 at 4. Big move here, punters. Horse number 1, Hanover to Cash. Around 90 seconds ago, it was at 6 to 1. It's now $340. Heavily backed in race number 8. Runner number 1, Hanover to Cash. Let's head upstairs and join Aaron White's call on race number 8.
Thanks, Craig. And the Square Gators will be called up very shortly by our starter in Frank Phelan. Now Katie Hall at $4.20 and $1.60, holding up as the favourite. In fact, no, with the market update just coming through, 10.170. Gentaris will take that favouritism off Katie Hall at $4.61.70. Tumbling down all the time, Hanover to Cash, number 1, and that's at 5.80 and 2.10. Equibreed handicap trot to open the second half of pick 6, 704.04 live, and they're off and trotting, and Cool Sun as he did last night at Cambridge's gallop. Carwado Spur puts in an uncharacteristic early gallop tonight. First away was Springfield Legacy. Gintaris on the journey safely. Hanover to Cash will settle fourth, as just getting past that now was Amy's Invasion. There followed Katie Hall, Saffron Castleton. Djokovic is on the journey, and on the stables corner Luck Chin is looking to get him around the outside of runners here. They're followed by Ascent again back in the field with Chardon's Pearl, and back with those it's now or never. And back in the field, Carwado Spur and Cool Sun after their early mistakes. Through the back they go, and the speed is good as Amy's Invasion to take over. But look who's on the scene. It's Djokovic and Luck Chin up on the outside as they trot down to the lead time. Springfield Legacy in the trail, 48.6 was the lead. Three back Gintaris, 1-1 now, Hanover the Cash, and the Magic Man Morris McKendry is Djokovic, quite happy to sit parked outside the speed. Katie Hall's on the back of Hanover to Cash, sent again on the inside of Katie Hall, then Saffron Castleton as they sweep across the showgrounds turn and about to work into the lane. Chardon's Pearl, it's now or never. They're the last couple, 1,200 metres left to go. Equibreed handicap trot, and our leader Amy's Invasion. Djokovic right there though on the outside. 30 and 7 was the opening quarter. Springfield Legacy is trailing. Hanover to Cash 1-1. Gintaris 3 back on the inside of Katie Hall. Back in the field, sent again at the bell. There followed Saffron Castleton as they work the stables corner final time. Chardon's Pearl is back in the field with its now or never. And the two with no chance are Carwado Spur and Cool Sun. 900 left to go. And Amy's Invasion leads Djokovic. Springfield Legacy trailing. Hanover to Cash has had a perfect run, 1-1. Then Gintaris, Katie Hall. Further back, Saffron Castleton sent again. Chardon's Pearl, it's now or never. 31 and 4 the second quarter. Djokovic gets his nose in front now from Amy's Invasion. Hanover to Cash in the 1-1. Back on the inside is Springfield Legacy. Gintaris all dressed up, nowhere to go. 3 back on the inside of Katie Hall. Saffron Castleton waiting for the move of Katie Hall in front, then sent again. Chardon's Pearl, and it's now or never. 400 to go. Djokovic and Amy's Invasion locked in battle. The quarter down the back in 30.5. Hanover to Cash comes out of the 1-1 as Katie Hall makes ground around her. There followed Springfield Legacy. Gintaris away from the markers, but has run up into a very big pocket. Out wider on the track is Chardon's Pearl, homeward bound. Katie Hall springs onto the lead strongly. Hanover to Cash. Chardon's Pearl down the outside, and Saffron Castleton. Springfield Legacy up the passing lane. It's Katie Hall. Katie Hall got his maiden victory last week in great fashion, goes back to back brilliantly. Brent Mangos in, Chardon's Pearl second, Hanover to Cash third. They were followed Saffron Castleton, then Springfield Legacy sent again. Gintaris didn't get much luck across the top. Djokovic weakened. It's now or never. Amy's Invasion back in the field, and the race for last was won by Carwado Spur. Last because Cool Sun has just beaten it in 251.3. 29.9 was the final quarter. Katie Hall, well, scored nicely, kept off some strong form, took 18 starts to claim the maiden victory, start 19, and he's got 2. Nice win. Katie Hall, Brent Mangos. Chardon's Pearl puts up a good effort too for second. Hanover to Cash will secure third just in front of Saffron Castleton. Equibreed handicap trot goes away nicely of number 2. Katie Hall, Brent Mangos for Timmy Vince.
Official placings, race 8, the Equibreed handicap trot. 211-1946. 211-1946. Horse 2, Katie Hall, trotted the 2,200 metres from a stand in 251.35. It's a mile rate of 25.3. Last 860.4, the 429.9. The margins, 2 1/4 lengths, 1 1/2 lengths, a half neck. 2 1/4 lengths, 1 1/2 lengths, a half neck. 2:11.1, 9.46, race 8, the Equibreed Handicap Trot.
Katie Hall will come back at the head of the field. Took 18 starts to claim his maiden victory in good fashion last Friday night. Start 19, he's gone back-to-back in good fashion. Tim Vince, Cheryl Wigg, the owners. Tim Vince, the trainer at Kemu. And Brent Mangos will come back at the head of the field on the quite easy 5-year-old bay gelding out of Cazzle Dazzle, bred by G.D. Beckett. Back into the victory circle, greeted by Denise Holland from Equibreed. Roger Barnes, a race night steward for the Auckland Trotting Club, also in the winner's circle in attendance. Nice win, Katie Hall, 11 for second. Chardon's Pearl, El Sue, Chardon's Way Bay, 5-year-old mare for Mrs. K.J. De Jong Kennedy and C.O. De Jong. Todd Mitchell, the trainer-driver out of Tofoti. And one Hanover to Cash Monarchy, Amanda's Gem. 4-year-old bay mare for P.R. Shirley, G. Body, Mrs. R. Body, and Mrs. N.J. Hackett. Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, trained at Waiuku, and Morris McKendry. Number 2, Katie Hall at $4.80, $1.90, $4.81.90, 11 Chardon's Pearl at $2.90, $2.90, 1 Hanover to Cash at $1.70, $1.70, Quinella $26.60, $26.60, the trifecta $107, $107. First 4, $2,491.10, $2,491.10. The jackpot through the first 4 into race number 9 of $149. And the 1 and 2 double, $31.30. $31.30. The 1 and 11 concession at $13.80. $13.80. Pick 6, 2 legs to go. There are 125.12 live units remaining in pick 6. 125.12. Woodland Stud Mile High Mares Series, heat number 2 over the mile. No third dividend available. The half a dozen starters, no scratchings. We race at 6 minutes to 10 o'clock.
One off the sprint has had 3 wins and 3 minors from 7 starts from there. Daryl Robinson, we head to you. You've gone for the 3rd favourite here on top in Big Boy Dino.
Yeah, the runs in Class 5 accompany here, not too bad, and now gets into a straight Class 4. Had a straight Class 4 run there on Monday at the Manawa 2, but probably a bit better on this track. Big Boy Dino has run some very good times around here in his 4 wins and gets a chance to bounce back to winning form here. The 3 Big Boy Dino. I've seen a few dogs out of form today and just finding a bit of class relief and grabbing winning form, and I think Big Boy Dino gets his chance here today. From the 8 Curious Life, I have a take a look at the box 8 record for this one, and she's got an outstanding record. She hasn't won from box 8, but she's had 7 placings from 7 starts, and just on the boxer stats here for Curious Life, she has mixed up the distances so far in her 39 race career. She has been over the middle distance most of the starts, but has sprinted up as well, and sprinting up today here from box 8. And we'll see what sort of performance she can put together to keep up that very good box 8 record. The 4 Naraho, another one that gets away from Class 5 company into a straight Class 4. and gets a chance to also bounce back to form here for Clarkie and Jen in the Lifestyle Syndicate. This one here at $8.90, $1.70. And $8 good for a dog that has been spending the last few starts in Class 5 at Company. What's Up G? As we did see there, a nice win at the Manawatu on Monday, bouncing back to winning form on that downgraded run to Class 4, so gets the chance to cash in. We've seen a couple of dogs come out and win tonight that picked up wins on Monday at Palmerston North, and What's Up G can most certainly prove that was no fluke and can make it 2 in the week. Arizona Sky has just come up in grade, and Popstar Rockets had a look at the track, could go one better. And Bez Viewpoint, the other one there from the 2, a big hope as well. All locked away now for the Wanganui Security. Straight Class 4 sprint this one. Favourite is now Bez Viewpoint, the 2. 2 runs so far back from a break. Third race up today. Ready. Racing into flying out there is Naraho along there with Hey You, and now coming off the rail there and kitty into it. Big Boy Dino trying to get around the outside now as Popstar Rocket just looking for racing room, swooping his Curious Life. Back here we go to What's Up G. Arizona Sky's back there with Bez Viewpoint. They go for home, and Hey You driving the inside. Big Boy Dino. Oh, I think Big Boy Dino and coming with it Naraho. This is very close right there. Hey You. Great finish just in behind. We had Curious Life. Not too far away on crossing there to back to a Bez Viewpoint was just in behind that. What's Up G, Arizona Sky, and just ahead of that Popstar Rocket. Gee, I thought Hey You was going to make it 2 in a row, but gee, they came from everywhere. Big Boy Dino, the rail. Naraho was driving on the outside of that. Just having a look at the board, and I think you can't see the second one here, but the 3's gone up there. Drives the inside, Big Boy Dino. Gee, great finish. Hey You set them up in front, got to the lead, but Naraho was coming the outside, and Big Boy Dino was charging the inside. They gathered in Hey You, and Big Boy Dino, this is close, but it's gone up. The 3 over the 4. 1 and 8 wasn't far away either. They've gone 17.69. At sectional time at 7:01, run home 10.68. Just waiting for the margins to come up. It was a nose, a half length, and a length and a half. Great finish. I was just getting ready to call Hey You home, but they came from everywhere and up along the inside. Big Boy Dino with that class relief last time out, and has done exactly what we thought he would do, bounce back to winning form. Naraho's gone a big race, also getting away from Class 5, so no surprises with the Quinella here. And Hey You for Wendy Kite, coming back up in grade, but has stuck on for that 3rd placing. Big Boy Dino, start number 23, win number 9 for Matt Roberts. This one by Bright Ebony out of Kate Lee. And I think that person that's just gone past is the owner. Very happy one too, Big Boy Dino. From the 4, Naraho here for Clarkie and Jen, and Hey You for Wendy Kite into 3rd. On to race number 12, and this is for the Class 5s. Scratchings here of the 2, Cosmic Fury, and 7, Inazuma. Follow Fame. We'll get into box 2 here for Marcy Flip and Matilda's Babe, into the 7 for John MacArthur. Racing at Hat Trick Valentine's Day. Yes, back in action here tomorrow night. First race at 5:59 here, Mark, and we'll have you back for the last here at 10:05.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, the action continues tomorrow. I'll be here on Trackside 2. Some of that program on Trackside 2 and over to Trackside 1 for the remainder. Wanganui Greyhounds Saturday night at Hat Trick Raceway. You can have a punt on that. Well done too to Daryl Robinson. Tipped us a winner there with Big Boy Dino out of the open class. 3, 4, 1 and 8. 3 Big Boy Dino, $4.90 and $1.20. 4 Narahoe, $3, and number 1 Hey You, $2.40. Quinella 3 with 4, $28.20. Trifecta 3, 4, 1, $172.50. 3, 4, 1 and 8 first 4, $971 even, and 17 and 69 for race number 11, the winning time. The last event, as Daryl mentioned, 5 after 10 for the Class 5 sprinters. To wrap things all up at Hat Trick Raceway, we might take a look at that market to wrap it all up. Couple of scratchings, 2 and 7, which means both of the reserve dogs get in off the ballot, Follow Fame being the best backed of them, coming out of box number 2, and number 10, Matilda's Babe, out of box number 7. 320 for Follow Fame fixed odds, same with Allegro Master, who's won 2 out of his last 4, the dog by Collision, and was a winner at Palmy 2 starts ago, did line up there last Monday and ran 3rd, and that win 2 back was in Class 4 up to Class 5 last Monday and ran 3rd. Meanwhile, Follow Fame was 3rd last week in a mixed Class 4 and 5 to Exponential Lily. Follow Fame, and comes out of box number 2 with the 9 rug on. That is race number 12, and that race is set down for 5 minutes after 10 from Hattrick Raceway. Well, unfortunately, the news is not good out of the meeting at Moonee Valley. We'll hear things officially shortly, but well, the word going around before we hear that official word is that we won't be seeing action from Moonee Valley tonight with the thunder and lightning. Looks like it's there in Melbourne to stay, so we're getting that official very shortly, but certainly 99.98% sure that the meeting is gone at Moonee Valley tonight. So we'll get that official from our TVN team shortly. In the meantime, we'll have a look forward once again to the beginning of the Cricket World Cup, and our team, Mark Stafford, Scott Styris and Simon Dool, having a look at another team which is actually in it to win it. That's Pakistan.
Cricket World Cup preview time, and it is Pakistan who came to New Zealand and got dusted up for a couple of games. But Scotty, it was the first time they played cricket since well before Christmas, so they needed some cricket.
Yeah, they looked a bit rusty, and for me they're a very similar team to England with the bat, and they have a very powerful middle order. They've got Safraz, the keeper, Umar Akmal and Shahid Afridi, but if you're asking too much of those guys, then they're not going to do that well. So it's all about table setting, making sure that top order do a job. Now they've lost Muhammad Hafiz from the tournament, Nasser Jamshed's come in, so big onus on Misbah ul-Haq and Yunus Khan and Ahmed Shahzad to get them off to a good start to allow those skills to come through.
Dooley, we've seen in past World Cups the like of Akram, Shoaib Akhtar. What have they got to offer this World Cup?
2 left armers that I think are pretty good. We got a glimpse of Muhammad Irfan, the big 7'1" boy. He's going to test some teams, that is for sure, with his bounce. A little bit of pace. Wahab Riaz, haven't seen a lot of him of late, but he's a guy that when he gets it right, particularly dangerous. They rely a lot on Shahid Afridi with the ball as well. So, yeah, have they got the bowling attack to win the tournament? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they have, to be honest. I think they're going to, again, rely heavily on getting a lot of runs.
They've been good in previous World Cups of Pakistan, but we think they might just struggle a little bit in this version.
And there are plenty of betting options available on the Cricket World Cup, which gets underway tomorrow. And certainly, Pakistan, they copped a shellacking in their lead-up games, but they'll be in it to win it for sure. tab.co.nz for more details, and there'll be cricket specials as well throughout the tournament. Okay, let's get the latest word from the team at Moonee Valley. A short time ago, a call was made by the Chief Stipendiary Steward, and a short time ago, he had a word with TVN.
Well, a disappointing night for everyone involved here at Moonee Valley. The races are abandoned. The big cold front came through, rain and not hail yet, but certainly has been thunderstorms. Darren Triantafilou's been the chief steward. It's been an easy night for you. No, it hasn't, because you've had to weigh up a lot of things, but in the end, the weather just closed in.
Well, our decision was made quite simple at the finish. It was lightning. We just can't go out. Horse and rider safety, it's paramount, and we've got policies in place to make sure that they're adhered to.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's disappointing. I can't, TB, I'm trying to think of the last... I don't reckon we've had a Friday night meeting just not go ahead.
No, we've had a Friday night where we had to put it right back because of a similar storm front that came through early in the night, and the stewards and the riders and everyone involved did a really good job getting through the night. It was pretty close to the death, but we got it through, worked beautifully. But bad luck tonight. I hate it, because you put all the form in. Daz, I've backed a few horses. I got overs. I know it's all about me, but it's disappointing. It's disappointing.
It is very disappointing. Look, it's you got even the patrons have turned up today, and the club. It's a real letdown for them, and And the people at home sitting at home wanting to watch the races, and unfortunately.
I'm going to go home and play some poker now. What are you going to do?
Gee, what an excitement machine you are.
I've got to prepare for Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Left me out in the cold.
You are. Now, I noticed you did say, surely that was a little lie. Amongst your stewards, you said that you were considering all the factors. You were considering the jockeys. You were considering the horses. You said, I was even considering Terry. Surely you didn't think about him out there.
I actually did, yes.
You brought it up with the other stewards?
Yeah, for sure.
What did they say?
No, anyone, even the cameramen, if they're working out in the rain, we have to consider them as well.
Good on you, Darren. Well, thanks for your time, mate. Really appreciate it. And unfortunate news. If we could give away the antler luggage, we would give it to you, mate. But thanks anyway for your help tonight.
No worries. Thank you.
There's Darren Triandafalou. All right, well, that'll bring us to a close here tonight. For those that love their racing, want to find a winner, well, here on TVN, we'll put a special edition of Get On coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. Races are abandoned here at Moonee Valley, so you'll have to find another way to entertain yourselves tonight. Hopefully you can find a winner tomorrow, and make sure when you're doing that, you're watching TVN.
Well, the news are not good there, and you saw the evidence for yourself with the thunder and lightning. That does mean we look forward to tomorrow, and hopefully the track won't be affected as the weather sets in. Hopefully it won't be affected too much for Orr Stakes Day at Caulfield. A 9-race card there getting underway at 3:30. The first tomorrow from Caulfield. That'll be here on Trackside 1. The coverage out of Melbourne. Some really nice racing as we head towards the likes of the Blue Diamond for the babies there, the Caulfield Festival of Racing, and then we're into Flemington. Their big Super Saturday, Australian Cup. The Newmarket, of course, the Black Caviar Lightning. A huge carnival in the autumn in Melbourne before we head towards Sydney. So, CF4 Stakes Day tomorrow afternoon. Caulfield first at 3:30. We'll have to keep an eye on those track conditions at Caulfield ahead of the big day with the weather closing in tonight. No such problems in the City of Sales as we head back to Alexandra Park with a couple of races left here. Craig Thompson and last night's Whale Watch. Aliante is coming off the fourth the other day. Zach Butcher and Barry Purdon, $2.20 fixed odds.
Yeah, opened at $4.20 this morning, Mark, and I can tell you the texts have been coming in the last probably 3 to 5 minutes from the sports desk. They've taken 4,000 and 2,500, and they've just taken another 2,500 at $2.20. So the money keeps coming for runner number 1, Aliante. Reasoning while I like the mare, well, showed it last night, Mark. She was very unlucky behind Jimmy McElroy at Alexandra Park in the boys' race, and then had a run here on Saturday, trialled up really nicely. Caught up with her trainer, Barry Purdon, earlier in the night. This is what Barry had to say. Nice race for Aliante in the 9th tonight, Barry. A little bit unlucky in the boys' race. That can happen, but back here on Saturday, up for Harness Plus, barrier 1. You've got the draws tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Look, she's a nice filly. I really like her. She's, as you say, good draw. She should go pretty good, Craig. She trained really well on Wednesday, and yeah, she seems in good shape.
Yeah, Barry's thoughts on one Aliante. What I liked about her on Saturday was show gate speed. Hadn't done that in the past. Front rows pretty quick. 2 Lincoln's Megastar and 4 Charleston Bell. That's where your gate speed will lie, but they are drawn outside Aliante, and it's a short run to that first bend, so Zach giving her a decent workout and head out. So I expect that they'll go forward as good as they can from that inside draw. Doesn't have to lead, could take a trail, but I think they'd prefer to be on the speed if they can with one Aliante. Harness Plus eligible, beautifully bred, this 1.5. By Better's Delight out of Splendid Dreams. A great family, this. I think there's one going through the catalogue too, out of Splendid Dreams at Karaka on a Monday. As I say, it's a very, very good family. Just having a quick look as we talk now. Out of Splendid Dreams, of course. That is the family of Charlie Roberts. And having a quick look out of Splendid Dreams. Yes, lot 116 at Karaka on Monday. So if you're there and you want to have a look at a nice type, have a look at this one. Better's Delight out of Splendid Dreams. Half to Chris and me, Hans Christian. Splendid bet. Family of Maxim and Splendor. So second dam, Excuse Me. Of course, the mother of Adore Me. So the brown colt called Accumulator goes round lot 116 on a Monday afternoon at Karaka for the Australasian Classic Yearling Sale. The full to Aliente. Dangers to Lincoln's Megastar. Just had a quick talk to Ray Green off camera. Quite happy with her. Of course, she is. The full to Sir Lincoln by Mac 3 out of Claire de Lune for Lincoln Farms. And talking to the camp at Lincoln Farms, they're going to be looking to buy again on Monday and possibly down south. So good to hear that putting more money into harness racing like they do. Their property out there at Pukiko looks fantastic. Doing a great job. Ray Green and, of course, the team at Lincoln Farms. Lincoln's Megastar, Big Danger, Barrier 2. Charleston Bell from 4 here. They've been driving her conservatively and she's been hitting the line strongly. I just wonder now with the barrier tonight and over the mile whether they may go back to their old tactics of going forward from the forward draw. So interesting to see what James Stormont summarises at the start of the race. And the horse on screen at the moment, 3 Liberty Sticks. A winner last week in the junior drivers race. Tony Cameron drove there. Won't expect her to come out with no second row. She's got the chance to get a lovely run 3 back or 1 off the fence here. Bit of pressure on. Should be one that will hit the line. She's a very good stayer. Only had 1 go at the mile. Got a personal best of 156. But if it become a little bit of an attritional war up front, she's one that will get to the line strongly, Liberty Sticks. Mark them 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 2, 4, 3. Aaron White's numbers 2, 4, 1 and 3 in race number 9. Aaron, as I come to you 2 minutes out from the Woodland Stud Mile High Series, heat number 2. Just talking to Ray Green and the teams at Lincoln Farms. They're always buying big at the sales, and they'll be doing that again come Monday afternoon.
I'm sure they will be. Good judges, aren't they, as we've seen over the years. So Lincoln's Megastar, I think, for them can certainly bounce back into the winner's circle tonight. The mare by Mark 3, Simon Lawson, Ray Green. We've put in the 4, Charleston Bell. Always got a lot of time for this mare. Christian Cullen mare. The small field will certainly help James Stormont. We'll put in the 1, Aliente. She was good in 4th and behind Jimmy McElroy last time, a nice winner at Cambridge 2 starts ago. And 3, Liberty Sticks worked home strongly to secure that victory last Friday night. 2, 4, 1 and 3 just coming through from Te Araha too, Craig. I can tell you the 2015 Palace Hotel Pro-Am was staged, and it stays in the Higgins household with Junior Higgy and local farmer Norm Mason taking the event out by 2 shots over Butch and Stratty. And the Palace Hotel is still in great spirits after their horse, Living by Chance, won down at Manawatu last week. So the team there at the Palace Hotel doing a great job. And the Pro-Am taken by James Higgins along with local farmer Norm Mason there in the Palace Hotel. They'll certainly be rock and rolling. They have been ever since Living by Chance. The Queen of the Corporates got home at Manawatu.
Absolutely. Another nice drive by Kyle Marshall. He's doing a good job. Of course, drove Donnie Wood for the Marshalls to win last night at Cambridge Raceway. And unmissable both days down there as well. So, yep, Living by Chance. You're right, Aaron. Every Thursday night I'm at Cambridge. She's always winning the corporate races there. And, of course, you were talking about last night, $175 if you want to have a drive in a corporate race at Cambridge in the next couple of weeks. Get hold of Mike Weston at Cambridge Raceway there. They've got a promotion going on at the moment. And, geez, you've ever not been in a sulky and you want to have a bet around, get in a corporate with a senior driver, the likes of David Butcher, Zach Butcher. It's great fun. $175. Mike Weston, get involved there. Cambridge Raceway. And behind the mobile, the Woodland Stud Mile High Series, heat number 2. They'll go pretty quick. Round the 155, 154 time. If there's a bit of pressure on, favourite will start from the inside. Best back runner, number 1, Aliente. Here's Aaron.
Craig and the mares into the back, the half a dozen for the Woodland Stud Mile High Series, heat number 2, brought to us in association with the good folk at Caduceus Club. Down they go to the mile start. Aliente off barrier 1 to run the favourite. We're there, we're off and pacing. Lincoln's Megastar will muster the early gate speed and take up the early running for Simon Lawson. Aliente, Zach Butcher happy to secure the trail. Coming forward is American Angel around Charleston Bell, who'll end up in the 1-1 as they sweep across the showgrounds turn their first occasion. Liberty Sticks is back 5th against the markers, and Simply Stunning and Todd McFarlane will be the last as are about to come off the showgrounds turn and work down the lane. Lincoln's Megastar at the 1200. The opening quarter completed in 29.5 seconds. Leads by 3/4. Up on the outside, American Angel. The Magic Man, Morris McKendry, obliged to sit parked. Aliente trailing. Charleston Bell, Jimmy Stormont, 1-1 at the bell. Back on the inside, Liberty Sticks and the Iceman, Tony Hurley. And Simply Stunning, last of the half a dozen on the stables corner there, one and only time. But she's only spotting the leader 4 lengths, Simply Stunning. Lincoln's Megastar travels beautifully in the lead over American Angel. Aliente trailing second quarter, 30.7. In the 1-1, Charleston Bell in a striking spot. Liberty Sticks 3 back on the inside, and Simply Stunning to her outside. Woodland Stud, Mile High Series, heat number 2, also in association with the Caduceus Club at the end of the back straight. Lincoln's Megastar leads by a half, American Angel. Aliente's had the gorgeous run in transit in the trail. 1-1, Charleston Bell. That pair ready to strike as they're about to work to the home straight. Further back in the field, Simply Stunning and Liberty Sticks, 28-4 the quarter down the back. Lincoln's Megastar narrowly over American Angel. They come for home. Aliente waits the passing lane. Charleston Bell out of the 1-1. Lincoln's Megastar leads by 3/4. Aliente passing lane. American Angel running on. Liberty Sticks in behind. Aliente goes after Lincoln's Megastar. Aliente and Zach Butcher gets 2 in 1:55.9. Second over, Lincoln's Megastar. Liberty Sticks hitting the line well. They were followed American Angel. Charleston Bell, no excuses. They were followed then by Simply Stunning, and 27-1 was the final quarter, a half of 55.6. Zach Butcher, he gets 2 on the program tonight, as does Barry Purdon. Secured that lovely early trail. Didn't really pressure Lincoln's Megastar hard for that early lead. Just waited for the passing lane run in this beautifully bred Better's Delight mare. And a splendid dream. That's 3 on the program for Better's tonight. Part of that record-breaking, history-making lineup of stallions at Woodland Stud. Had a great night last night at Cambridge too, did Better's Delight. He's having another good night here, and we'll pick up a harness plus bonus to Aliente, Zach Butcher. A nice win, getting underneath Lincoln's Megastar. Liberty Sticks has found the line well. American Angel. Charleston Bell, no excuses. 1-1 throughout. She hasn't let down in the home straight. 5th will be her lot in the Woodland Stud Mile High Series, Heat 2 to number 1, Aliente.
Official placings, race 9, the Woodland Stud, Mile High. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. Horse 1, Aliente, paced the mile in 155.96. Last 855.6, the 427.1. The margin's 3/4 of a length, 1.5 lengths, a nose. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6 in Heat 2 of the Woodland Stud Mile High.
Aliente back at the head of the field, picks up a harness plus bonus tonight as well. The Better's Delight Bay 4-year-old mare out of Splendid Dreams, raced by breeder Charlie Roberts. Barry Purdon, the trainer at Clevedon, picks up a winning double as 2 to Zach Butcher back into the victory circle, greeted by Mary and Paul Kenny from Woodland Stud. Gary Williams down there on behalf of Caduceus Club, part of the victory celebrations with the victory of Aliente, win 2 at start number 7 here tonight. Johnny McRae, race night steward, down there in attendance too over the victory celebrations. 2, Lincoln's Megastar, Mark 3, Bay 4-year-old mare at a Claire de Lune in for second. Lincoln Farms Limited, RJ Menzies. DR Ebbett along with R Flood, RW Green and IA Middleton. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe and Simon Lawson, and 3 Liberty Sticks for third. Washington VC Star of Liberty Brown 4-year-old mare for the 3-putt number 2 Syndicate. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver out of Papakura. Totes will see. Aliente number 1. Return. As it'll filter up onto my screen right now. $2.50 and $1.40. $2.51.40. 2 Lincoln's Megastar. $2.10. $2.10. And 3 Liberty Sticks, no third. Quinella $3.30. $3.30. Trifecta $14.40. $14.40. And the first 4 $61.60. 61 and 10 cents. In fact, correction, 61.10 for the first 4. Pick 6, 37.4 live in Pick 6, 37.4. We move to the last, the Alex Barr and Eitri Mobile Pace. Staged over 2,200 metres. No scratchings, no third dividend available, just a half a dozen runners. The maidens take centre stage at 24 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Death Star. On the corner, Allegro Master in front by 3 from Barry's Way. Further back then to Enhancer running past Miss Foxy Minx. Margin back the others, Alamein Cat, Death Star. Allegro Master is in from Barry's Way. Third to go by there would have been Enhancer. Get back to Miss Foxy Minx.
So he stepped out there a couple of weeks ago in the Class 4. He beat Barry's Way, and then the first go in Class 5 this time in was third on Monday to Allegro Class. This is the second run in a solid C5 this time in. Draws box number 4 and was beaten on Monday 4 1/4 lengths, but did go very well for its first time in box number, or Class 5 this time in. Box number 2 was Monday's performance where it came from. Has had the 6 starts out of the 4 trap, which it finds tonight 2 times in the money, a win and a placing. There is the sum of rugs, the line in the last. Sum of rugs 15.5. That's because we've got a reserve dog into favouritism here, and that's Follow Fame for Marcy Flip. Comes into box number 2. Does dog number 9. So dog 9 into box number 2. Dog 10 into box 7. Both of the reserves get a start, but Follow Fame is coming off a third in a mixed Class 4 and 5 here last week. Third to Exponential Lily. Of course, this one from the Marcy Flip kennel got some representation out of Foxton too, and this dog coming from her southern base was 4th on New Year's Day at Addington at its last start in the south. You just saw the update from the second match tonight in the Super Rugby competition, back for its 20th season. Super Rugby earlier on an upset in the opening game of this year's tournament, with the Rebels upsetting the Crusaders. They're off to their usual slow start, the team from Canterbury. And at the stage, the Brumbies 10-0 over the Reds. Back with you, Daryl Robinson, heading into this final race on the card. 3-3 and 3 in the TAB Quaddie. Follow Fame, a return of $233. It is the favourite for this last. What are your thoughts?
Yes, with the favourite here to Mark Follow Fame, 2 scratchings in the race. She gets a chance here from box 2. I thought Marcy Flip's best chance of the night, and she's already come out and won the first race with She Smashing. So started the night well, and I think Marcy's got a good chance here with Follow the Fame. Had its first run here at Hat-Trick last Friday. Went a very good race. Just got a bit held up and still managed to rush home for third in behind, and probably a stronger field than this Exponential Lily, winning that. and Follow Fame could go one better. So I do like the reserve dog. I do like the 5 and the 4. YOY, we've already seen 2 from the collision. Hypho Allegro Litter win tonight, and YOY gets the chance to make it a hat-trick. And Allegro Master, of course, the brother, and looking to overcome this tough box draw, but just a dog that just runs so well both the CD tracks, and it will be very competitive, as he always has been in Class 5 company, and currently at $4, just on $4.80, so not a bad price if Follow Fame wants to get a bit lost on the inside. But that track debut run very good. Number 1, Sir Richie, gets into the inside draw. Head box 1 at the minute with 2, 3 back. Box 1 draw, not too bad at all for Sir Richie. Spends most of his time out in the second half of the draws, out wider. But into box 1 today, and always a chance with that inside draw. Blue and Curly will be looking for a way through. And Waterbug and Matilda's both on the verge of a downgrade. Ginger Cole also having its second run in Class 5 company. Racing a hat-trick tomorrow night. First race 5:59. To wrap up here, a good night's racing here for our Friday night program. 1 to go. Favourite is Follow Fame. The reserve dog. Ready. And racing, taking a fly there. YOY is going to go straight to the lead, but here comes Follow Fame getting up underneath it, coming into the race now at the inside. Sir Richie just beside it there now. Blue and Curly out wide. Matilda's favourite couple back to Waterbug, Allegro Master, and out the back Ginger Cole. They go for home, and Follow Fame finds the lead and kicks away. Follow Fame, big run down the outside. Sir Richie will get up and take that second placing. Very close here for third. Rushing home there, Blue and Curly in a photo with YOY. That could go either way, and Allegro Master was also closing off well. Matilda's Babe was just in behind that with Ginger Cole, and just up ahead of them Waterbug. Well, there you go. Got off the bench, gets into box 2, and Marcy Flip starts the day well, and it will finish the night very well here. Gets 2 wins and a placing. Of course, now settled into her Foxton kennels, and Follow Fame had its first run here last week, and that was a good run, and she's backed it up with a strong performance to win the last. Big run. Sir Richie has got to second, and I think Blue and Curly will get to third. It does. 9-1. 3 and 5. They've gone 17.63. That sectional time 6.89, and the run home 10.74. Follow Fame win number 15 tonight. There's the margin, 3/4 by a half by a head. And yes, Follow Fame, Magic Sprite, Fame Story, picking up her first win in the CD, and win number 15 overall for Marcy Flip. For Jay Scooney and also Jay Sadler from box 2 for the night for Marcy. From the 1, Sir Richie, big powering finish down the outside, and Blue and Curly was coming with it for that third placing ahead of YOY, who had the box speed and had the early lead in the race. And that wraps up race number 12. Of course, back in action here tomorrow night. First race at 5:59, and at the last race just before 10 o'clock. Looking forward to some good racing. And speaking of Follow Fame, I think backing up tomorrow night to Follow Fame. So looking to line up again for Marcy Flip tomorrow night. To you, Mark, thank you very much for your company throughout the night on behalf of the trackside team here on course. We'll do it all over again in 24 hours' time. On behalf of us here, a very good evening to you all.
All right, we'll catch you then, Daryl. I'll be on trackside 2 for a wee bit, and we will keep an eye out on the fields tomorrow to see if Follow Fame will back up after winning in race number 12. Marcy Flip bookends the program. Yep, got the win with She's Smashing at $3.90 to kick off the program way back at 4:45, and wins the last. 9, 1, 3 and 5 will tidy this result. 9 Follow Fame, 3.60 and 1.70. 1 Sir Richie, $1.90, and 3 Blue and Curly, $2.10. Quinella 1 and 9, $9. 913 Trifecta, $54.20. First 4, 913 and 5, $204 even on the 12th. 3 and 9 double, $21.10. 3 and 1 concession, $4.30. 3, 3 and 9 the treble, $52.70. $52.70. The second quaddie, the late quaddie of 3, 3, 3 and 9, $233.40. Short way home, $233.40, and the place 6 pays $81.80. Yes, as mentioned by Daryl Robinson, we will be back there tomorrow night with the first race just prior to 6 o'clock, a Saturday night meeting for the Whanganui Greyhounds across 2 channels, Trackside 1 and Trackside 2. Just a note, if you are a harness racing fan and looking for the Inter-Dominion heats tomorrow, the qualifiers all around Australia. Of course, we don't have a New Zealand heat this year, but we do have heats across Australia from 10:30. There will be coverage from the first heat at Tabcorp Park, Melton. We'll be taking as much of it as we can from our Sky Channel team on Trackside 2. So Trackside 2 for all 5 heats from the first one at Melton to the last one coming from Gloucester Park. For now, though, it's cricket. With a wee bit of time up our sleeves with the abandonment of Moonee Valley, we'll get more of a preview of the upcoming Cricket World Cup with Steph, Dooley and Scotty Styris.
Hi everyone, welcome to the TAB Sport Cricket World Cup special. And this is going to be an interesting wee chat because I've got some great cricket analysts. In fact, one of them said he prefers to be called a guru, and that is Scotty Styris. So Scott Styris, the guru, Simon Dool, the analyst. We'll stick with that, guys. First of all, I just want to know from you guys, what, Dooley, does this Cricket World Cup mean for New Zealand and the game of cricket here?
A lot. I think, not many opportunities to play a World Cup in your own backyard, and to me that's got to be the most special thing. I went to a couple, never managed to play a game in either one of them. So to me it's about the crowd getting in behind it, the public getting in behind it, and just enjoying the ride. Not putting too many expectations on, just enjoying the ride. I think, Scotty, you're lucky enough to play at a couple, so to you it must be great as well.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened in the Rugby World Cup, didn't we? Once the team got on that winning roll, just how everybody got in behind it and enjoyed the occasion. I probably enjoyed all the sort of off-the-field excursions and the people. And
much like when you were playing.
Yeah, well, we're going that way early. But, everything around that was brilliant in the Rugby World Cup. I'd love to see the Black Caps win their first 2 or 3 games to get on that roll as well. 1, for their confidence, but 2, just to allow the public to get in and enjoy what this tournament is. And that's, I guess, a celebration of the game and then hopefully a title as well at the end.
There is so much expectation, Dooley, isn't there, on the Black Caps? Everyone's just almost printing them in, some of them the final, definitely the 4. Is this expectation warranted?
Well, they've actually started to play good favourites. That's what I like about them. They were favourites in all of those games. The TAB had them pretty warm through that Sri Lankan series, through the Pakistan series, and they delivered all bar 1 game. So I think we're actually learning to play favourites quite well, which to me is a good sign because we haven't done that well.
No, we've talked about this in the Black Caps side for 10 or 15 years, ever since I was there, about making sure we play well when we are favourites. It's the New Zealand way, isn't it, to be a great underdog? And, what the Black Caps are trying to do is raise their own performance on the expectation of what they know they can deliver. And there will be more pressure on them. We've seen that with the way they've been playing, and as you say, everybody putting them in the final or even a semi-final. But even the 92 side, they came into the tournament with horrible form, so they didn't have the same expectation. And it was only once they got on that roll. So good to see the players are there, they're performing well, and I'd love to see that continue as well.
One thing we've got to remember, and the viewers have got to remember, is Aussie are at home as well. And they are the best team in the world. They have been going great guns as well. And I think we've been clouded a bit about how well the Black Caps have been going. Aussie are on fire.
Yeah, well, they've dominated India, they've dominated England, haven't they, across the Tasman at the moment. And I think usually you sit down and you watch that Australian tri-series, and that's the best thing to watch. But this summer, we've been the best thing to watch, or we've been equally as good as them to watch. And I think that's what's maybe just allowed them to go about their business without the New Zealand public and without us talking about them too much. So they're a very, very good side. I think Faulkner's a massive loss. If he doesn't come through this side strain, he's a huge loss for them because it takes away one of their dynamic 2 all-rounders in Maxwell and Faulkner. I think they had great batting potential, great bowling potential between those guys. So to me, it takes that away a little bit. But they're still a very, very good side.
If we have a look at the overall winner book, you'll see that here we've got Australia at the $3 mark and New Zealand a 3rd favourite, Scotty. Is there a dark horse anywhere in there?
My dark horse is actually England. I think they're used to these conditions for a start. I'm a big conditions fan. So at the last World Cup, the three favourites were all the three subcontinental sides. This time around, I'm a fan of the Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and therefore England. They know these conditions. They've got some dynamic players, and there's been a lot of talk that they've been in disarray, or their preparation over the last, say, 12 months hasn't been as good as it could be with Alistair Cook and his departure as captain. But with England and growing all the time, and as the tournament final is still a couple of months away, so you don't have to peak right now. I think this team's a dangerous team.
Dooley?
Yeah, I'm with you, Scotty. I've actually picked England in my semi-finals. I think they're good enough to make the semi-final. I love the look of that middle order. It's just so strong, and you wait till you see a proper innings from this guy, Josh Butler.
You
Owen
can't
Morgan's
believe you're
terrific.
agreeing with Scotty, though. Have you got the same dark horses?
That's right. We're ND men. We agree on quite a few things. Yeah, as I say, I've got them to make the semis. I think they're good enough to make the semis, and you put that middle order together. Owen Morgan's a terrific one-day player. He'll just come to terms with this captaincy more and more throughout the tournament. Josh Butler, proper player. He's great.
I just wonder, with so much possible change, whether in New Zealand's grounds, which are more batsman-friendly, smaller grounds, the hitters come into play a bit more. Someone like an Alex Hales, who we've seen so dominant in the 2020 version, whether he actually makes his way into the English side and then gives England that flying start to
they've struggled a bit in
middle
Australia
order.
on the bigger grounds, haven't they? And that may be where a little bit of the issues come in. But the bowling attack, you look at Anderson, Broad, Finn, quality across the board there. So, yeah, as I say, I think they can make those semis.
Okay. You've taken Scotty's dark horse into your semis. Who's your other three semi-finals?
As Scotty just said, it's horses for courses, teams that play at home. It's New Zealand, South Africa, Australia and England. They're the semi-finalists for me. Australia because, for obvious reasons, they're the favourites. They play great in their home conditions. New Zealand for those same reasons. We're playing good cricket. South Africa because I just think they've got the best top six. In the tournament, I think from 1 to 6, they are as good as anyone. So they're the three, and I've thrown my dark horse in there because I think they're a half a chance.
Scotty, who have you got? Don't tell me you won't agree.
I'm not agreeing. There we go. First time I'm not agreeing. I've got the same three in terms of the big three, if you like, Australia, South Africa and New Zealand. I have actually picked Sri Lanka. For very similar reasons. I think there's too much class. They have the pedigree, they have the form. They've played well here in New Zealand, even though they've lost the series. And they've been in the last two World Cups, I think, finals, from my memory.
Malinga's massive, isn't it?
Malinga's back. You've got the class of Sangakkara, Jai Wardner, Angelo Matthews and even Dilshan, who we'll get onto a little later, but that is a really high quality batting unit, and I think they'll have a very similar approach to what India does when they're at their best, and that is, we know our bowling isn't as good as other teams, so we don't really worry about it. Whatever you score, we'll just try and score one more than you, and that batting order has the ability to do that.
Cricket World Cup, it starts tomorrow. We've had the opening ceremony last night at Hagley Park in Christchurch, and the first game gets underway here in the co-host country, New Zealand, in Christchurch tomorrow. Plenty of options available at tab.co.nz, and the boys will keep us up to date throughout the tournament. Back to Alexandra Park, a reminder with the abandonment of Moonee Valley. We're about to wrap things up at the park. This is our last race on the program, Craig Thompson. It's been a really good night at the park, obviously with Noms closing for the Northern Oaks and also the Northern Derby and the Auckland Cup, the Group 1 action at 11 o'clock this morning. We've seen some standouts who are staking their claim towards that. We've seen Tim Tetrick taken to the wire by Zach Butcher and some plenty of other standout performances.
It's been one of those nights, hasn't it, Mark? I really enjoyed it. Of course, we haven't had overly big fields, but we had really competitive racing. We had two races where they've only gone 0.1 outside New Zealand records. We've had Huey Green back in the winners' enclosure, Mark. Good to see him back in. Ahoka Punter performed very well. Yeah, the Mile High Series is taking off with Aliente winning the last in 155, and only got 6 runners going around the last, the maiden field, but there'll be plenty of form coming out of it because they're only backing 2 runners, Concord and Hasten Bromack. Large multi finishing on Concord, and they're backing Hasten Bromack as well, so he's into 190 after opening at 460, Hasten Bromack. Concord out to 250. Barry Purdon, he trains Ideal Eagle. He's been great to us tonight. Took the time to talk about him Ideal Eagle. Barry, Ideal Eagle goes around the last. There's only 6 in it, but it's a pretty hot field going through the form. A couple of these will look like they'll win races pretty at short notice. A family you've had a lot of success with, and again, another one that's working quite nicely.
Yeah, she won quite well here on Saturday at the trials. It'll be a bit harder for her tonight. I mean, she's a nice filly, but she'll need to get everything her own way a wee bit, and she gets out of the gate good, so she'll probably secure a good run, and just hope she can get some of it.
Mate, you got a big team in tonight. Let's hope you have plenty of success, and thanks for your time on trackside.
Pleasure, Craig.
You thank Barry Purdon for his time tonight. He had 11 runners in and was very busy at the time that we wanted to interview him, but he took time out to pass on the relevant information to our viewers out there, and we thank him for that. In the last, I marked them 5 Hasten Bromack in front of 3 Concord, 2 Joe's Dream and 1 Ideal Eagle. 5, 3, 2 and 1 for me in the last. Give you the will pays for tonight's pick 6 with the faithful Al Bundy, Huey Green, Katie Hall, Aliente, Ideal Eagle 9,500, Joe's Dream 3,500. Runner number 3 Concord, your favoured way home in the pick 6 tonight, $1,700. 2.5 Tigers, the pool 25,000. Hasten Bromack 2,200, and Wimbalari $17,000 in tonight's pick 6. For the quaddie, Huey Green, Katie Hall, and Aliente 1,200 Ideal Eagle, $1,000 JD's Dream, 301 with Concord, 8,000 with 2.5 Tigers, $301, exactly the same. Hasten Bromack and Concord in the quaddie tonight, and Wimbalari just over $4,000. Those your will pays for tonight's pick 6 and for the quaddie, and good luck if you're live with 2.5 minutes out to race number 10. Other standout performers tonight. Earlier on in the program, one of the Derby nominations in Express Stride took out the first. Super Tony Hurley Drive and the son of Better's Delight. Yes, Better's Delight. We've been talking about him all night. Got home in the first and winning very, very impressively. Race number 2 was taken out by the Southerner, Pyramid Monarch, trained by Phil Williamson. Brad, up in the north to take the drive, as one driver of the night. And got the mare by Monarchy home in the second impressively too. In the third, it was Democrat Party and the Orange Agent in a tight finish. The Orange Agent getting up in the last stride in 1:54.1. They went 2 minutes, 0.5 for the 1,700 metres. Outstanding time, and I think that was just 0.1 outside the New Zealand record. So the Orange Agent defeated Democrat Party. See the ballerina into third in race number 3. The 2-year-old Young Guns heat was taken out by Walkinshaw on the back of a good run last week. Took out the 4th. The Faithful for Zach Butcher got up to beat Tim Tetrick on the Fascinator in the 5th tonight. Then we saw Al Bundy dominate them in the front in the trot. Very impressive. He's going to make his way through to open class. Huey Green defeated a Hoka Punter in a quickly run 3:23.7 in the 7th tonight. We had a bit of a back-to-back win situation with Katie Hall taking out race number 8 for Tim Vince, and Brett Mangos nice and winning the trot. And we saw Aliente take out race number 9. Aaron White, as I come to you, quick summary of what's happened here at the park tonight. Back tomorrow. Of course, we've got workouts and trials here tomorrow. We've got 12 of them. We've got Elios going around in heat number 11, taking on Pembroke Benny and Lancewood Lizzie, so plenty happening in the park again tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Elios comes back. Of course, they've had their few issues. Raced really, really well, of course, here last year at Elios, so it'll be great to see him back on track. So, yeah, why not get along to the Alex Bar and Eatery, taking a wee bit of breakfast before taking in those good workouts here tomorrow. In the last here, though, Craig, 3 Concord to cap off what has been strong form, runner-up in behind Prince of Pops last time. Stephen Reid doing the driving tonight. We'll put in the 2 Joe's Dream after chasing You and Me Babe hard last time from a nice draw. The 5 Hasten Bromack, plenty to like about its debut victory. I should say its debut third. American Ideal gelding Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver, and the 1 Ideal Eagle. Another of the American Ideal progeny, a 2-year-old filly, Zach Butcher, Barry Purdon, looking for 3 winners on the program here tonight. 3, 2, 5 and 1 to wrap up what has been a thoroughly enjoyable night. The Orange Agent and Huey Green, both just 1/10 outside of New Zealand records here, Craig.
Track running very true again tonight at Alexandra Park, and yeah, the team that work on the track done a great job here tonight. Harness racing continues through the weekend, of course, Sunday.
Behind the mobile for the Last of the action tonight. Yeah, thank you, Craig. And the runners in behind the yellow bar arm for the Alex Bar and Eatery Mobile Pace to wrap up the 10-race program tonight for the Auckland Trotting Club. We're back here next Friday night. Under the ribbon of light, the maidens, though, at dispatch. Starter Frank Phelan activates the green light, and they're often pacing and getting out fast. Joe's Dream, Wimberley, Concord. Taking a spot behind those, the 2-year-old Ideal Eagle as they find their way onto the stables corner. They're followed then by the favourite Haston Bromack. He's back second last, and 2.5 Tigers is back at the tail. So working out to the 1850, Joe's Dream with Concord to her outside, and trailing Ideal Eagle. Wimberley takes up 1-1 cover for Fensham as they work up into the back straight. A length and a half, Haston Bromack and the Iceman Tony Hurley, with the last favourite of the night sitting second last on the outside of 2.5 Tigers and Jimmy Stormont. 1,600 to go. The Alex Bar and Eatery Mobile Pace and a lead time of 42.6, and Concord will finally wrestle the lead off Joe's Dream. That'll leave Wimberley out parked as they get to the end of the back straight and work on to the showgrounds turn. Concord with Wimberley now going up on the outside for Reece Fensham to have a play for the lead. In the trail, Joe's Dream, 1-1 Haston Bromack at this stage, then 2.5 Tigers. Ideal Eagle back last on the inside of the half a dozen as they pace into the lane. Wimberley trying to get the lead off Concord. He can't do it the opening quarter in 30 seconds even. Joe's Dream secures the nice run in the trail now for Sean Grayling. Haston Bromack the 1-1 for Tony Hurley with the favourite at the Judge Bell and 1 to go, then 2.5 Tigers, and 3 lengths away Ideal Eagle back last. They're on the stables corner, their final time tonight. Concord, the son of Jeremy's Jet, leads narrowly over Wimberley the outside. Joe's Dream is trailing. Haston Bromack, the American Ideal gelding, beautifully situated. 1-1 then 2.5 Tigers. Ideal Eagle 29 and 4 the second quarter. Concord into the back for Stephen Reid, leading by a neck over Wimberley. Joe's Dream, this favourite Haston Bromack's on a beautiful rein in the 1-1 for the Iceman, tracked up by 2.5 Tigers, and Ideal Eagle back last. 500 left to go. They're about to turn off the back and onto the showgrounds, turn their final time. Concord still with a kick over Wimberley. Joe's Dream will await the passing lane. Haston Bromack, he looks the one at the 400 metres, then 2.5 Tigers. Ideal Eagles drifted away. 30 and 5 the quarter down the back. Here's Haston Bromack out of the 1-1, quickly onto the lead over Concord. 2.5 Tigers comes with Haston Bromack. Wimberley, Joe's Dream waiting the passing lane, but the American Ideal gelding at the 120, he's lonely, 5 lengths in front, and the Iceman Tony Hurley, he'll pick up 3 on the program tonight. What an easy victory that was. Joe's Dream second, Concord third, 2.5 Tigers fourth, Wimberley was the next, and Ideal Eagle to be the last to greet Judge Graham McLennan tonight. 242.6 home and 29.9. Always travelling Peaches and Cream. Haston Bromack, American Ideal gelding, yet another winner on the program for a Woodland Stallion. Tony Hurley, the Iceman, picks up 3 after winning with Express Stride earlier in the night, and also Wilkinshaw in the 2-year-old race. So Tony in with another very good night at the office. You won't find an easier victory than that. Joe's Dream, once the passing lane appeared, she's come through to run second. Concord will battle on well for third in front of 2.5 Tigers in the Alex Bar and Eatery Mobile Pace.
Official placings, race 10, the Alex Bar and Eatery Mobile Pace. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1. Horse 5, Haston Bromack, paced the 2200 metres in 2:42.67. A mile rate of 158.9. Last 860.5 and the 429.9. The margins 11 lengths, 3/4 of a length, a half length. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1. Race 10. The Alex Baronetary mobile pace.
Asen Bromack back at the head of the field. The Iceman, Tony Hurley. The Woodland stud-sponsored rangeman gets home with yet another Woodlands breed. This one by American Ideal out of Happy Dreamer. Bromack Lodge Limited, the breeders. For a PC Kelly, the owners, D.I. Donaldson, IPD Hope Johnston, along with D.H. Walker and Mrs. Suzanne Hurley. And Hasten Bromack back at the head of the field in pretty emphatic fashion in the last, the Alex Baronetary mobile pace. The Iceman for 3, the Mitavite sponsored rangeman, the Mitavite Black Bike back into the victory circle again tonight. 2 Joe's Dream, got to go collect Bay 3-year-old filly out of Maryland Bromack for Mrs. L. Grayling, along with G.J. Gooden, Mrs. J.A. Gooden, and Miss A.M. Kitty. Amanda Kitty, the trainer at Pukekohe, Sean Grayling, and 3 Concord for 3rd. Concord by Jeremy's Jet, a 4-year-old bay gelding out of Pacific Image, raced by the Renwicks, P.I. and Mrs. P.M., along with S.J. Reid. Stephen Reid, Simon McMullen trained at Pukekohe. And Stephen Reid did the driving. Totes in the last. We'll see Hasten Bromack return. $2.20 and $1.40, $2.21.40. 2 Joe's Dream at $2.90, $2.90. And 3 Concord, no third. Dividend Quinella, $8.20, $8.20. The trifecta at $13.60, $13.60. The first 4 at $53, $53. 1 and 5 and the final double, $5.60, $5.60. The 1 and 2 concession returns $5.20, $5.20. The final treble, 2, 1 and 5, $40.40, $40.40. The final quaddie on the program, 1, 2, 1 and 5, $301.50, $301.50. Place 6 tonight, $30.70, $30.70. And pick 6 tonight, 2 The Faithful, 2 El Bundy, 1 Huey Green, 2 Katie Hall, 1 Aliente, 5 Hasten Bromack, 11.08 winning units, $2,256.30, $2,256.30. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings the curtain down for another night under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. We trust you've enjoyed your evening's entertainment. We're back here next Friday night, February the 20th. Until then, Aaron White bidding you all a very good evening and have an enjoyable weekend.